Street.
But yeah, so 90s. First thing that comes to me about the 90s is the cartoons, man. Old Nickelodeon cartoons. You had Rocko's Modern Life. Rocket Power. There was a show actually called Pete and Pete.
Wow.
I don't know.
Huh.
Not many people remember it, and I don't know why. So if you remember Pete and Pete, please comment and let people know I'm not crazy. It was about two brothers named Pete, older brother, younger brother. I remember the younger brother had a tattoo on his arm named Platunia. It was like a pinup. Yeah, it was like a pinup chick.
Huh.
And I vaguely remember an episode of a kid ODing on cream corn. Very strange, dude. Us 90s kids.
Wow.
Shit was
we've got
weird.
a wide range of
was
interests
weird.
and whatnot. And honestly, one of the shows that I could say to this day is still probably my favorite and gives me the most nostalgic feeling is actually one of the only anime series I've ever watched and ever enjoyed. And you can probably guess what I'm about to say.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. That's the only anime I've watched and enjoyed. Except, and this isn't, I don't think this is 90s. It might be. I don't know exactly how old it is. Cowboy Bebop. My boy Steve, he doesn't watch anime either.
I
but
watch a little bit of that too.
He told me about it.
Bad because it's Americanized.
And I can get
that a
behind
word?
that one. It's pretty good.
We'll go with it.
Yeah.
It's Americanized.
But anyway, that's not 90s. And if it is,
No.
correct me. That's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't do any research on it.
Be like,
But,
"You dumbasses."
Going on 90s cartoons, I took me and Corbin walking around old Wally World,
Yeah.
Walmart,
Uh-huh.
and I found the complete series of Rocko's Modern Life. And I loved that show. Well,
Solid show.
we get back to the house and I'm putting it on, and I'm not one of those pussy parents that's like, oh, I don't watch that. But watching this, I was like, holy shit.
There's a lot
There's
of stuff in these
so
90s
many
cartoons
sexual
that
innuendos.
sexual innuendos.
Yeah, dude, and it is hilarious. There's an episode where Rocco works for a sex hotline as a phone
I
operator.
remember seeing clips of that. I never watched it.
Mrs. Big Head. There's one episode where Mrs. Big Head is treating Rocco like he's a gigolo, and she's cheating on her husband. The name of the restaurant is Chokey's Chicken.
Chokey's Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heifer the cow. Like,
Oh yeah, heifer.
dude, there's so much. If you get a chance,
Yeah.
go on YouTube, find Rocko's Modern Life. For all you younger cats that don't know what we're talking about or don't remember, shit was funny. You had All
it
Real
was great.
Monsters.
Yeah.
All Real Monsters was a good one.
Mm-hmm. What else was there? And I'd say very close behind Dragon Ball Z, and definitely a second category, but very close behind my favorite cartoon of all time, Courage the Cowardly
Dog.
I love me some Courage.
I love me some Courage.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. If I had to pick my favorite cartoon, dude, as a child, I had two that I watched religiously. It was when Marvel did the X-Men cartoon that was very closely, like it was the comic, but it was an animated series. You used to be able to watch it on Hulu, but they finally took it off Hulu. But it was X-Men animated series. It was legit as shit. I remember watching it every single morning. Fantastic. And the other one was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, dude.
Oh yeah, Power Rangers. Yeah. Yeah, you can't say 90s without
I
talking
know
about
one.
Power
I know
Rangers.
one other person that might. No, there is one other person that has better Mighty Morphin Power Rangers knowledge than I do, and his name is Moses Bellman. Shout out to Moses. That dude, to this day, he watches all Power Rangers. I'm not talking just Mighty Morphin. That dude loves Power Rangers. Just
Damn.
loves it. Rocks with it. But Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was my jam. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
That was my shit.
And you know what else I watched the shit of as a kid growing up? Was the original Pokemon series. The original,
Dude.
like I don't even know.
Back when there was 150 Pokemon.
Yeah.
151
You guys
if you
know
wanted
what
to
we're talking
count.
about.
If you wanted to count Mewtwo.
That's it. Not
Yeah.
counting Mew.
Was it
There's
Mew or
151.
Mewtwo?
Well, Mewtwo is 150. My nerd's showing a little bit. Mewtwo is 150. Mew is 151.
Dude, the only reason I know is from the TV show and then Pokemon Yellow, where you ran around with Pikachu.
Yo, fun
Then you had
fact.
blue
That was
and
my
red.
first video game. So, and this will be a pretty cool transition into why there's such a huge gap between 90s babies. Why you hear the phrase 90s babies so much. But the very first video game system I ever got, it was at Christmas. I remember opening up the present like it was yesterday to this day. It was a lime green Game Boy Color.
Dude,
and the
my
game I
very
got with
first
it
one was lime green.
was
Yes.
Pokemon Yellow.
Yep. Well, mine was Pokemon Red.
Was it red?
It was red.
I later, of course, I think I actually ended up picking up blue, and so red was one of those games I didn't play till later. But
yeah.
Pokemon, I remember Pikachu following me around. I remember actually reading the manual, being like, what am I supposed to do?
That's the thing about video games today, dude. So I bought my first console that I ever got. I actually got from a pawn shop. Was my Super Nintendo. That was my very first console. The first console I ever bought, I saved up all my Christmas money and Shore's money, and I bought a Nintendo 64.
The 64, yeah.
It was the Donkey Kong edition that was green.
Nice.
It was the translucent green one.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, dude, I played the shit out of that. And the reason I bring up the 64 is because in the past year, I've actually bought a Nintendo 64.
Yeah, I've seen
and
it
started playing it
at
again.
Your place,
yeah. And there's not like a screen where you can go check to see what the buttons do.
No.
And I'm like sitting there like, how do I know what they do? But then it occurs to me, back in the day, you read the manual.
You had manuals, and it always had a control layout.
Yeah. And I remember,
every game did.
Y'all remember when they had the code breaking magazines where you had to like go to the store and buy a magazine, and then they came out with Game Sharks with PlayStation that you could actually plug it in and pick your cheat codes.
Yeah,
and
I had a Game Shark for the Game Boy. I remember I
Game
Sharked the fuck out of my Pokemon games.
My first Game
all
Boy,
Master Balls. Didn't give a fuck.
My first Game Boy was actually a Game Boy Pocket.
Really?
That I traded on the bus. There was a kid that I had a holographic Charizard Pokemon.
Okay,
is what it was.
Holy Grail.
And
which today is worth thousands, doesn't it? So.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. I have to go back. I don't even know. My wife has Pokemon cards still. She wasn't an uber nerd by any means. She just never threw them out. Like she was a '90s kid that collected Pokemon cards. That was about it.
I still have some Pokemon cards, and I got super excited because you see all these ads and shit on Facebook about, oh, well, these Pokemon cards are worth this money. And it was one of the fossil Pokemon. I forget which one it was.
I remember the fossil Pokemon.
One of the Pokemon cards, a specific edition, was worth like 50 or 75 bucks. But the thing was I had like 20 of these bitches.
Oh.
Or so I thought. And then I looked into it.
So I thought.
And it wasn't the edition. They were worth like 5 cents or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But for a while, I was like, damn, I've got like 20 of these bitches. I'm sitting on like $1,000.
Man.
Wasn't the case.
And the whole reason I even got this is because it was right when the Game Boy Color came out.
Yes.
And so it was the clear, like, yay big, you know. And it had a Bart Simpson sticker on the back of it.
Did it really?
Yes. And I was like, hey, man, can I borrow your Game Boy? And he was like, I'll trade you for that Charizard. And at the time, that was my most prized possession.
Yes.
But I was the only kid that didn't have a Game Boy. And so I traded it. I played the shit out of that. Actually, no. It didn't. At first, it kind of bothered me that my Game Boy wasn't in color. Everybody else's was. Right. But I got over that real fucking quick because I got addicted to Pokemon. Dude,
it didn't matter.
I had the emulator on my phone, and I'll play it on my phone.
Yeah.
For hours.
Dude, I go back and forth. I'll probably say it's a 3 to 4 month cycle where every 3 to 4 months I'll re-download the emulator on my phone and just play the fuck out of those games. And then ultimately what it probably comes down to is I'll switch phones. I'll get a new phone or something, and I won't re-download it. I'm like, whatever, I lost my ROMs, and ROMs are getting harder and harder to find nowadays.
Are they really?
Yeah, because like Nintendo's cracking down. Because Nintendo in like their latest consoles, whether it be the Switch or the Wii or especially the DS, they're bringing back all these games like remastered. And so they're cracking down hard on the copyright stuff.
Money on it.
And so they've really cracked down and took these ROMs out.
I want to know what, I don't mean to cut you off. I want to know what y'all's is too. So, in the aspect of Pokemon, when you picked your Pokemon, which Pokemon did you pick in the beginning?
Besides Pokemon Yellow, because Pikachu was your default.
Yeah, besides Pokemon Yellow. Like when they gave you your 3 Pokemon, you had to pick your Pokeball. Which one did you go with?
I went with Bulbasaur because
Really?
because you have less of a selection of Pokemon for the first two gym leaders, so it's harder to get Pokemon that are good against both rock and water. Bulbasaur was good against both rock and water.
Wow, dude, I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I always went fire. Always.
Fire would be... I did fire one time, and what I ended up having to do was I had to find a Spearow and level up the Spearow because Peck was effective against rock type back in the day.
Okay.
And then I don't remember what I did for the water.
I always did. I would go through it. So first I would pick fire, go through the game. Once I beat it, I'd start over. And I'd pick water, go through the game, start over. And biggest pet peeve, 90 kids know it, is when your friend wants to play your Pokemon game and he picks new game and deletes
and overwrites
all
your shit.
That's how you ruin friendships, people.
Yeah.
The games that will ruin
That's how friendships die.
I remember Nintendo 64 playing Mario Party, stealing people's stars.
Yes.
Don't be a shitty friend and steal people's stars.
Yep.
That's jacked. And people are going to say, but Cody, that's the point of the game. No.
No, the point of the game is to own your own fucking stars.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Exactly.
Because who's the best player? The person that has the most stars. If you go and steal other fuckers' stars, you have no skills except being a thief. Nah. Maybe a little bit too serious.
Probably one of my favorite games of the 90s. I can't even. That's a whole nother topic, man. That's for another day.
It is.
Well, let's write that down.
Games of the 90s. I'll just go out and say it. There doesn't have to be a topic for me. To this day, my favorite video game of all time was Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
I have it on 64.
Done. Do you have the gold edition?
I had the gold edition of Majora's Mask.
That's still fantastic second.
Yes. Very, very good. Very good. But,
what's your favorite movies of the 90s, dude? Mine,
fuck, dude.
I remember to this day. Isn't it weird? So this is kind of a funny thing. Good time to bring it up. Isn't it weird how you have certain memories that you can vividly remember down to the most specific detail of like 15, 20 years ago when you were a kid?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I do. And one of these memories is still to this day one of my favorite movies of the 90s. And I don't know if it actually came out in the 90s, but it was popular in the 90s. Is I'll never forget, my mom used to sell Avon. And she was in an Avon convention or event or something like that. And my dad had gone to bed, and it was a weekend. It was like a Friday or Saturday night, so I didn't have school. My dad was like, go on, stay up and watch whatever you want. And I found, oh man, now the name of the movie eludes me.
What's it about?
Oh God, it's about this dude. He's like dresses in like a purple suit. He's got like this skull ring. The Phantom. Thank you.
The Phantom.
The Phantom was one of my favorite movies.
I want to say that came out in 92.
All right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I love The Phantom. And anytime I watch it.
And then you had the 3 skulls. You had one made of gold, one made of silver, and one made of, it was
glass. Wasn't it? It was jade or something.
Jade. It was jade. And then you put all 3 skulls together. And the bad guys in that had the web tattoos.
Yeah, they had the web, yep.
Dude, I watched that the other day.
Did you really?
Yes, it is on Hulu.
Man, I love that.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up. It's on Hulu? It is on Hulu.
Writing that shit down.
Fantastic. I love the Phantom. It had what is that actor's name, man?
Phantom on Hulu.
And for those who haven't seen the Phantom, listen. I try to...
don't go into it thinking you're going to see a blockbuster Emmy Award winning film.
Most of this is nostalgic for us.
Right.
Like, 80s, I love 80s movies, and that can be for another day. Love 80s movies, love 90s movies. They're awful. They are so bad, but it's just, it brings back, it's like you said, it brings back the memory of it.
Yeah.
But The Phantom, fantastic movie, dude.
Oh, yeah.
VHS, it was a real thing. Remember when you bought the rewinder that you could just put it in?
And it was only
back when we used to actually
fun fact,
movies.
I don't know if you've actually seen. Have you ever actually looked in our guest room?
Yes, you have VHSs. I've seen them.
A bookshelf.
Whole bookshelf.
Full of VHS. We have a working VCR. Wife and I still lay down and watch a Disney movie from VHS every now and then. And the VCR works flawlessly. She's had this VCR since she was like 17.
Yeah. So dude, you take care of your VCR or take care of you. Remember you used to have to buy the cleaner?
Yeah, the cleaning tapes.
To clean it? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when you would watch VHS, I remember there was numbers. And so when you would stop a movie and rewind it, you would write down that number so you knew where to pick up.
You knew where you...
Because you didn't have a skip button. You couldn't...
There was no scene selection.
You could fast forward it while it was playing, but it would take forever to get there.
Yeah.
So
and then you'd stop it and fast forward it, and you'd go 30 minutes past where the fuck you wanted to stop.
Ah, dude, Phantom was
There
so
was no
good.
fucking easy.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah,
Phantom
dude,
was a
I love the
fantastic
Phantom.
movie. But what I was saying, for those who decide I'm gonna look up Phantom, this dude wears purple tights.
Yeah.
Like tight
Whole
as
body
shit.
tight, like one
Leather
of those body
boots.
suits you see at a football game.
Yeah, dude, it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah,
but it's a good movie. It's corny too.
Yeah,
but
it's
good.
corny.
It's
right?
good.
Yeah, because
I
he's got
enjoyed
the
it.
stereotypical, like, the one woman in the movie falls for him and they fall in love and shit like that. But I mean, it's good nostalgic.
Crap,
and
dude,
you know, a lot of people probably gonna, a lot of the people that are actually like legit into anime, be like, Dragon Ball Z is one of the trashiest shows of all time. It's just such a shit anime show. I don't give a fuck. Fine, call it a shit anime show.
I remember running
it's
around
like exactly what
yelling,
he said.
Kami Kai people. And
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man, it's nostalgia, right?
That's all it is.
That's what I grew up on. That, oh, dude, you know what other cartoons I grew up on? Voltron.
I remember a little bit of Voltron.
I watched Voltron. They actually did a revamp of Voltron.
Yes,
Fun
they did.
fact.
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. I watched it. It was pretty good. And actually, you know what? Probably the most modern anime show I've watched is Netflix's new Castlevania anime.
I don't watch any anime.
It was tolerable. Again, it was very Americanized. See, I can't do the super fucking
like,
Japanese
people
kawaii
are like, oh, you need
bullshit.
dubs, and for me, man,
I can't do it.
I can't get an anime. It's goofy. The Cowboy Bebop, I really enjoy that.
Yeah, because
it's
it
a
wasn't
good story.
It wasn't
you know?
the cheesy.
Another thing, and I'm a little weird about it. I'm not a huge fan of South Park. I don't hate South Park. Let me get that clear.
Yeah.
I just, as much of a
really
fan
either.
base as South Park has, like, it's funny. Don't get me wrong. Like, it'll make me
I'll
laugh.
laugh at it. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna sit down and binge watch South Park.
It's the same with me and Family Guy and American Dad and Futurama. All of which I have binge watched because my buddies all like it and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go on so many TDYs. You've got your roommate and they're into Family Guy and whatnot, and so we'll binge watch it. And same thing as what you said. I'll laugh at it. I don't dislike it, but if it's up to me and I'm gonna watch something on TV, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
However, a show that I will watch the fuck out of, and everybody's on this train, it's an animated show, you can probably guess, I've become addicted to it. It's fantastic. Rick and Morty. I love the shit out of Rick and Morty. And for the longest time, I was a non-believer. I was one of those haters. I was like, whatever, it's another fucking anime, or it's another fucking cartoon, garbage, bullshit. No, it is a cartoon that is 100% made for adults that uses not only crude humor, which is kind of
fantastic,
window to my soul, but it goes and it uses all of these like scientific terms, like fucking.
So I've actually
Rick is like this mad evil. He's not really evil.
I've only seen 2 episodes of Rick and Morty.
Bro,
That's
Rick and Morty will change your life, and it's
both
so
of
funny.
them were at the end of a drunk night when we were getting ready to pass out. We just threw something on the TV.
Yeah, exactly. Even my wife, who is adamantly opposed to anything, she actually went with me to go see the one Dragon Ball Z movie, Resurrection F, and she enjoyed it because most of the Dragon Ball Z movies have a little bit of comedy, so somebody can enjoy it if you're not a fan of the series.
Is this an animated series or actual movie?
No, it's an actual movie. Like it's a Dragon Ball Z movie that they released.
I knew they made one Dragon Ball Z movie.
They've made a couple of them.
Oh, the one I knew about, it was like a live action. It had Piccolo in it.
It wasn't no live action bullshit. I've heard
this one was live action,
horror stories
and
about
I
that.
heard it was awful. Like, for me, I just watched Dragon Ball. It was so hard to even find Dragon Ball Z anymore. Like,
so I recently found the entire Dragon Ball Z series on Blu-ray. Yes, Blu-ray on Amazon.
How much is it?
For a cool $350.
Too much for me.
Nope, that's what I'm saying.
Too much
for
me.
I'll just watch this shit on DBZ.TV.
Going back to VHSs, I know we're backtracking a little bit, but I got a 6-year-old about to be 7 in January. First time he saw a VHS, he's like, "Dad, what is it?" I had no idea what it was. And I was telling him, like, "Oh, it's a movie," and he's like, "It's so big." Like, what? And like, he's looking at our DVD player, and he's just like,
"How's this gonna fit in there?"
Yeah. And so we ended up hooking up the old VCR because I had the VCR DVD combo.
Yeah.
And dude, it was good.
It was good times.
It was a good experience for me because he had no clue what was going on, and I was like,
I know.
This is how it was back in the day.
Well, you see these videos of these kids who have been born and are used to nothing but technology, right? They're given an old cassette like tape player, like a portable tape player or a portable Walkman or something like that, and they're like, "Where's the touch screen? Like, how do you How do you load songs on it? And I'm like, what have we done?
My favorite one is the rotary phones.
Oh my god, yeah.
Watching people try to dial on a rotary
right?
phone, it is hilarious. Like,
so yeah, no, that's perfect transition, because that goes into kind of what we were going to talk about, is the difference between the youth of today and what we grew up in. And I think the big difference in 90s babies, as a lot of people call them, why you hear people of our age, plus or minus 5 years, right? People, they were born in like 85 to I'd say 93, or typically fall within this range. There was such a fast and major technological leap in 10 years between 95 and 2005. So throughout your formative years, there was a huge leap in technology, super fast. We literally went from cassettes to digital music players in a span of like 15 years.
Yeah.
And if you go back and look in history, there is no other technological advancement period that has been that fast and that rapid.
Yeah.
I just said the same shit, fast and rapid.
You did.
That fast and that extreme.
Yeah.
In history. And so that's why, as people that grew up in the late 80s and the 90s, that's why we're like, kids these days. It seems like that's our favorite phrase.
We're not even old.
We're not even that old. Neither of us are past 30, despite my wonderful hair or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Neither of us are past 30. Now we're getting there.
Not yet, no,
we're getting near the big 3-0.
I'm looking at Dirty 30 right now.
Yeah, we're getting near the big 3-0.
I am looking at it.
But
another thing is going back to that. I remember my very first DVD I ever got was The Mummy.
The Mummy. That was another good nostalgic show.
That was my first DVD.
Yeah.
And that was back when it was like, oh, you can look at the special features, which were bullshit. Like, special features were commentary and cutscenes.
Even to this day.
Even now.
Comment. Leave us a comment if you genuinely look at special features on a DVD. I'm not talking about like a director's cut or something like that. I'm talking about like if you actually look at the special features, the behind the scenes shit.
Oh no!
Let us know, please.
Depending on the movie, like if it's a comedy, depending on who's in it, I'll watch the commentary. Because some of these guys that do the commentary over their own movies, it's like, for instance, Jackass, one of my favorite shows. Actually, I have a Jackass tattoo.
Oh, I have. Yeah.
But watching the commentary on Jackass is, if not funny, but funnier. Because they talk about what happens when they're filming it. Like, dude, so this happened. We were getting ready for this. Dude,
I have literally every single Jackass DVD from 1 to like, what was the last one? Like 3.5 or something like that?
Yeah. I have
every single DVD. I need to go back and watch that.
I've got the series when it was on TV, and I also got the lost tapes. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, good old days, man. Jumping off roofs with umbrellas. Dude, we made so many Jackass videos growing up.
Yeah, see, that's something I never did.
Oh, dude.
And I think that's why I kind of want to do it now.
I'm
still game for doing that shit right now.
I'm too old for that shit, dude. I've hurt myself enough. We went to a garage sale and bought a video camera from a garage sale. It was $50. And this camera was so old that it came with a sling and a VCR that hung on your side that the camera plugged into. And so you had to basically carry around a VCR and film shit. Like, it was big and bulky.
Huge.
And it started off, we just made skate videos, like skateboarding. And then one of us was like, let's make Jackass videos. And shit got wild. We didn't do anything. It was all mostly painful things that we did.
Yeah. Like the show Scarred or Scars?
No,
remember
not
that show?
Yeah, no.
Oh, not that intense?
Not that intense, but like I remember I took a
bottle
fucking
opener?
Yep.
It's that time.
We took the umbrella out of a table like this. This is a outside table with an umbrella that goes in the middle. Took one of those, and I jumped off one of my buddy's 2-story houses into his pool with that umbrella. And in theory, it was like, it's like Mary Poppins. It'll slow you down. Fuck no, dude. As soon as I jumped off, that shit went soup, whoop.
Yep.
And I just
ate shit in the water.
Dude, ate shit. Like we videoed us playing paintball in our underwear. That was one we did.
Horrible idea. Did you at least have a cup?
Fuck no, dude.
No, of course not. Why did I even ask that question? I knew the answer already.
And I do have 2 beautiful kids, so it turned out okay.
Turned out all right.
But yeah, man.
No, man. There's a fucking time I played soccer my whole life from fucking pre-K up till and through college, and there was a time. I think the first 2 years of high school, I played We had a real small school. It's not that I was that good at soccer, but I was on varsity freshman year. Now, I didn't start a lot of games. We had varsity and we obviously had JV. So I'd start every single JV game, but I'd also sit in on the varsity and I'd get put in the second half if we were up by a couple goals. But by the time I was sophomore, I was pretty much starting most of the varsity games. And I would wear a cup, and kids made fun of me. And I'll never forget this one team. We were playing Grissom. And so in my school, all the people that watch this that are from Huntsville know Grissom is they're a massive 6A school. And our little private high school at the time was a 2A school. We went and played Grissom.
How did you play a 6A school as a 2A school?
Because our soccer team was that fucking good. We beat
That's
Grissom.
Awesome.
We beat
my
Grissom.
school was a little 3A school.
And our soccer team was like the pride and joy of our school. That's what our homecoming was based around. No, I take that back. Our homecoming was based around basketball. But we didn't have a football team at all.
That doesn't happen in Texas.
Yeah,
Everyone has it.
I know.
Everyone in Texas. Even there was a town next to us. It was two of them actually.
Yeah.
There was Oglesby and Jonesboro. They were both like 1A schools, dude. I'm talking kindergarten through 12 was in one building. The graduating class was like 6 people. That's how. The only reason this place was a town was because it had a school and a post office. I'm dead serious.
Damn. But they had a football team, didn't they?
Yes, they did, and it was 6-man. It's 6-man football, which I don't know. Leave a comment if you know about 6-man football. 6-man football is fucking intense because everybody plays every position.
Yeah.
The rules are a little bit different.
Okay.
But fantastic. So everywhere in Texas, if you're from Texas, it's all about football. Like, we would drive. It wasn't unheard of driving 6 hours to go to a game,
right.
like a high school game. And I tell people about that, especially when I was in the Army. We would talk about football, and I was like, dude, I've driven 4 to 6 hours to go to a game, and they're like, that's insane. Anywhere you go in Texas, you're gonna drive far anyway. It's huge. But Texas is real deal Friday Night Lights shit.
Oh, yeah.
We don't fuck around when it comes to football, man. Yeah.
That's what I've heard. But, yeah, we were playing Grissom, and I was sure as shit I was winning a cup. And lo and behold, I find myself in a situation where the defenders trying to clear the ball, and it hits me square in the cajones.
Oh.
I had a cup on.
Right in the boys.
Dude, I didn't fuck. I didn't feel shit. I just was like, boom, and I kept going. Boom. I didn't end up scoring, but everybody stopped and was like,
oh no.
How the fuck is this kid still standing, let alone running and attacking me with this fucking ball? Later on in the game, Karma came back and bit my ass. I was looking over my shoulder, trying to head a ball, and I ran smack fucking dab into a light pole. Didn't see it coming. All I remember, I remember looking back, and literally the next thing I remember was I'm on the ground looking up into the night sky. And I'm like, well, what happened?
Another thing about the 90s, going on about that, I remember when I was a kid, we actually played outside.
Yes.
Whether it was playing football in the street, riding our bikes all over the neighborhood. And this is the thing that's weird about now is when we were kids, when that street light came on, you better bet your ass I was in that house.
Oh, yeah.
My parents, I'm not going to say my parents didn't have any idea where I was at during the day, but
they were like, whatever he's
they
playing.
Didn't have any idea where I was at. I would get on my bicycle, go out riding our bikes, going skateboarding, gone literally all day. But as soon as it started getting dark, and you're like, dude, I got to get back to the house. Yep. Absolutely. And nowadays, I feel like people can't.
I feel like it's the opposite, honestly.
Well, it's because people can't. Because now there's so many. I'm not saying there were less creeps back then.
Right.
But now there's so many people that want to make excuses for whatever reasoning people do fucked up shit.
Right.
It's a disorder. It's this. And everybody wants to make an excuse for it.
Yeah, don't even get started on that.
We're not going to get started on it.
No.
But back then, the creeps kept to themselves.
They really did.
Because they didn't want to get fucked up.
Yeah.
So which makes me sad, man, because I would absolutely love just to let my kid run wild.
Oh, yeah.
Within reason. Like,
just let him go.
Let my boy ride his bike,
Yeah, but if you're in a neighborhood where your kid's got several friends in the neighborhood, he's like, hey, Dad, I'm gonna go, ride bikes. I'm gonna go meet up with
this
Billy.
person, and that's the thing
and they're
too.
At the opposite ass end of the subdivision. It's okay. He's out of your sight. He's gone for 2-3 hours, and I remember doing that as a kid.
Exactly.
Me and my buddies would go up, man. We had a lot that 2 or 3 of the lots down at the end were undeveloped, and it was just wooded. And man, we'd go back out there and make some killer ass forts.
Dude,
I'd love getting a fucking bring a hacksaw or one of those like foldable branch saws that you see.
Yes.
We'd bring that and we'd cut down fucking branches.
Dude,
make
build
forts.
some badass
like,
forts, bro.
Man,
me and my
we
buddy
were gone the whole day.
Me and my buddy Damon, at the end of it, it was the same thing. So at the end of his street, they hadn't started building houses yet, and it was all woods.
Yep.
There was probably, honestly, dude, it was probably, I'd say 20 acres. It wasn't anything massive, but it was a good amount.
Yeah,
and
hefty amount.
We would get out of school and ride our bikes down in the woods and be out in the woods all day.
Yeah.
We'd even bring fucking shit tickets with us. So if we had to take a dump, like we'd load up a backpack with fucking snacks, sandwiches we made, toilet paper, and we would be out there all day building forts, catching fish, like
dude, yeah,
everything. And it was so much fun. And I remember this summer we did school, because during the school we'd go down there sometimes, but most of the time we were hanging out with everybody, you know, going skating. And the first summer because he would go to his dad's house in California, and the first summer he didn't go to his dad's. We're going down to the woods. We had big plans. They cut down so much of that shit to build houses, and we were just traumatized because we were like, what? Because, dude, we went out there all the time. It was so much fun, man. But another thing, too, now is back when we were kids, everybody's parents knew everybody. So if I got in trouble,
excellent point.
Bet your ass somebody's mom or daddy was going to call my mom.
Jimmy's dad's going to call up my dad, or Jimmy's, usually it's the moms. It was always the moms for me.
Or the mom would, you could be at your buddy's house and you jack up, you know, and they're going to yell at you. Or they're going to whoop that ass, you know?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now people are like, don't touch my kid, don't do that. Nobody trusts anybody else anymore.
Right? Yeah.
Everybody's like, I don't want to know my neighbors. That's fucking weird. It's so foreign now for people to actually know who the hell their neighbors are. But back then, my dad
that was the only way you could know somebody. Yeah. Really?
My dad knew if I was going to get in trouble with somebody, their parents were going to call him. It wasn't an issue.
Yep.
So
I was either going to eat soap at my house or eat soap at my friend's house. There was no getting out of it. Yeah.
No. So I think that's one of the bigger differences today too.
Yeah, it's just discipline.
Nobody trusts anybody anymore, which they have rights to because people. I'm not going to say they're getting more.
There are more creepers out there,
but
sadly.
I wouldn't even say more. I'm just saying now, people make more excuses for people's fuck ups. That's what it comes down to.
Right.
Nobody wants to hold anybody accountable for anything anymore. So, but 90s were great, man. We had a lot of fun. Shit was a lot different.
It was.
Drinking out of water hoses and playing down at the creek.
To this day, I still drink out of a water hose. If it's a hot summer day and I'm washing my car.
So much fun, man.
Give a fuck,
I
think that's why I knock on wood. I get sick so rarely. It's because I'm working on cars. My fucking hands are greasy as fuck. I'll eat a sandwich. That bread will be stained black. And I don't give a fuck. I'll drink out of water hoses. I'll drop some. I cannot tell you how many times I've dropped a piece of food on this fucking garage floor. Probably got some oil or chemicals or some other shit. I'll eat that shit up. I don't give a fuck. Or I've dropped it in on a fucking kitchen floor where Cosmo's probably pissed or threw up or something like that.
You were going to say shit. You almost said shit.
I did. And then I realized he actually hasn't shat in this house.
No, that's awesome.
Cosmo's my German Shepherd, and he'll be a year.
Not his child. Not his child. It's his dog.
Yeah.
That'd be different. That'd be weird.
Cosmo's my German Shepherd. He'll be a year next month, actually.
But, dude, when we were kids, people didn't worry about shit as much because everybody looked out for everybody.
Yeah, there was a bigger sense of camaraderie back in the day for whatever reason. And honestly, I can't really pinpoint a reason except for maybe...
People don't trust anybody anymore. That's what it is.
Right, but even a reason for that. Maybe it's because everybody's more electronic-based.
It's entitlement.
And people are less personal.
I think it's more entitlement, honestly.
People are entitled?
I think people now feel like...
I can see that.
And I'm not going to say it started with their generation, but it kind of did. Even maybe our parents.
Right.
Is because...
They had to work their ass off for what they got.
Our grandparents worked fingers to the bone. I'm not going to say it. Not everybody's parents did. Because, my parents sure as shit did. But the thing is people... It got to a point where people didn't have to work as hard. And since maybe families were a little better off, they were able to give more to children. Hey, here's this.
Fun fact. Sorry not to interrupt. We had a new follower Somebody's following us. Somebody subscribed. Yeah. Hades Gaming. What's up, man?
Oh, thanks, man.
Or what's up, girl? Or that
awesome.
sounded hitting on-ish.
What's up, bro?
Person? What up? Thanks.
Let's be politically correct.
Yeah, thanks.
So thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the
person.
follow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we do appreciate it. But I think that's what it is at some point in the line between now and then, people became more entitled for whatever reason it is. And that's what the big thing about people today is nobody wants to do anything anymore for nothing. And that's the thing. So kind of a little bit tagging in on what we talked about last week, taking pride in what you do. Taking pride in your own work isn't good enough anymore.
That's exactly right.
And back in the day, that's what you got. Like,
that's all you had.
You might have gotten
your name and your reputation was the only thing that was going for you.
You might have gotten a hey, that's a good job, that type of gratitude, but you didn't expect people to kiss your ass or give you money or give you something because you decided to do something nice for somebody else. It was decent.
That's just what you did.
That's
what you were expected to do. And that's how
exactly.
You were raised.
So, and not to talk shit about new people, like I say new people, not to talk shit about younger cats.
Yeah, and it's not to say that
because not all of them
aren't disciplined.
Exactly.
And it's not saying that none of the parents are.
It's just not as common as it was.
It's rarer.
So, and it's so weird because back when people talk about like, oh, 90s kids, I'm a 90s baby. I'm like, dude, we're still young.
Yeah.
But now that I'm getting older and people are actually like 90s, and like some people have no idea what the 90s were about now. Mm-hmm. Like we're getting old enough that the people that don't know about the 90s are driving and voting.
You know how old we are specifically?
Yeah, I know how old I am specifically.
Comparatively to somebody else? How's this? Have you thought about this, or has somebody told you? Today, somebody is able to join the military to where 9/11 was a historical event that happened before they were born. This September 11th, past, a week or so ago, right?
No shit.
2019 should happen in 2001.
I didn't think about that.
18 years old. People are joining the military now.
That weren't alive when September 11th happened.
That were not alive. It is legitimately a historical event that happened before they were born.
Fuck.
How does that make you feel?
For just in the comments, because I'm curious now.
Yeah.
And I want to do another segment on this. We'll talk about it more. I want to know where you were at, if you remember exactly what you were doing when 9/11 happened. And I'll answer what I was doing later on. But I'm curious. Throw a comment. Just let us know. Like, where were you at September 11, 2001? I know exactly where I was at, but I'll tell you later because that's a whole other story segment and all that.
But
so,
no, man,
I didn't think about it like that. That makes me feel old.
It makes and we're not even that old.
And we're not that old. That's the thing.
No, not at all.
That is the thing. Technology, like today, we were at Best Buy pretending to be a couple. Not really.
Not on purpose.
But not that there's anything wrong with that. People. If that's your gig, go for it.
But we're both very happily married to our wives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the only reason why it was funny.
But the fact that they have fridges now, they have like a giant tablet, like smart fridges.
Yeah. Yo, have you seen that commercial?
Which one?
The one about, it's a Progressive commercial where she's talking about the kid. He's like, trash can, turn on the TV.
Oh yeah, he's wearing the VR
goggles and he's swiping
reading a book and he's like, ha, and then just stops.
He's like, drone, order a pizza, trash can, turn on the TV, fridge, what's the weather? Like all that shit exists nowadays. It's crazy.
That's the thing about 90s kids is technology was becoming in the 90s.
It was.
So
it was in infancy.
We didn't depend on technology because at the time
it was purely a luxury.
It was kind of shitty too. Like
most of the technology was shitty. Like the cell phones, man, you big ass brick things that you had to keep in the trunk of your car.
But I don't know if anybody remembers these because it was more of a 80s, maybe early 90s, bat phones that you kept in your car.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
If you still have one of those are satellite phones.
Yeah.
Right? Those will work anywhere.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
Pretty badass. But yeah, so back in the 90s, I was going to say back in our day. It used to sound old as fuck. But back in the 90s, yeah, we had the technology, but nobody was dependent on it because people were still doing shit with their hands. Yeah. Labor was still a thing. Right. And now it's not.
And now it's not, but it is at the same time. It's funny. All of these people and whatnot that are going to college and picking up a major and this, that, or the third. I'm not going to name any majors because I'm not trying to get shit on or hated on, but majors that are not in the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields, right? They're struggling to find a job. And what's becoming more and more of a gap is the trade jobs.
Yeah.
Dude, trade jobs, you hardly ever hear of anybody trained, like going to welding school, going to automotive school, going to carpentry school, plumbing, electrician, none of the apprentice, the journeyman, the whole process that it takes to become.
Part of that is,
you know,
we talked about it earlier, not on video, but another problem is with younger people now is everybody wants instant gratification because of technology.
They do. Yeah.
We can literally get on our phones and order anything and have it shipped directly to us. You can have it overnighted. People will pay ridiculous amounts of money to get something quicker instead of paying a quarter of the cost and wait a week for it to come in.
I am guilty of this. I just had this discussion. I was trying to order an accessory for my phone. I was like,
that's why I brought it up.
Man, dude, should I even order this? It's going to take a week to get here. He's like, shut the fuck up. Quit being a pussy.
It's a week.
It's a week. Wait.
It's a week.
It's cool. It's custom. You're not going to find it in the stores. It's worth the wait. And I was like, damn, bro, you're right.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
but
dude, no.
I think everybody's guilty. I mean, I'm guilty of it.
Everybody is, yeah.
There's stuff that I don't want to wait for. But at the same time,
hey, can we just throw this in there? The number one thing that I don't ever want to wait for? Car parts.
Oh, I was going to say.
Not tires specifically, no.
I was going to
Tires I'll
say
wait for.
beer.
Well, beer. But
beer?
No. I'm not aware of any doorstep beer service. So it's kind of not. I mean, you can get beer delivered to your door, sure. But I mean, it's not kind of mainstream like it is. Like you go online and order car parts. For me, that's the biggest wait. Like I'll hit order on that motherfucker, and I'm already trying to type the tracking number in, trying to find out where my fucking car parts are. I'm looking out the window like, are they here yet?
Right.
God dang, dude.
But that's one of the things. Is like it's instant gratification is a lot bigger now because back in the day you didn't have like if you did fast shipping, it would get there in 3 days. Like that was
the bee's knees. That was lightning fast.
That was the shit.
Yeah, that was lightning in a bottle.
So like now I could order something and have it shipped to me tomorrow from anywhere. Yeah. If you're willing to pay.
I just placed an order on Amazon. Shit's getting here Sunday.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I'm going to go ahead and put the clip in. Have you seen, Tom Segura? You watch him, right?
Yeah.
When he's talking about the skit where he's referring about the Amazon order, he's like, Amazon, all of a sudden it's like, it's on your doorstep. I'll insert the video.
I haven't seen it. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
But
I'll show you the video and I'll insert it right here.
So yeah, that's the other thing about it between our generation and older generations than us as well. Is instant gratification. I'm not going to say it wasn't a thing, but it wasn't as instant.
It wasn't. No.
Like, I mean, people had to wait. This is a big one, which I always think is funny. I'll be able to tell my grandkids, I remember before the internet was a thing.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I remember.
There was no internet. I remember when the computer was something that was a pure luxury. There was nothing in your schoolwork or work that dictated you had to use a computer.
Exactly.
Not in most people's work, at least.
Which now I can't.
Now it's
I'm
now
guilty
that's what
of
we're
it.
using to record this.
I can't.
Right?
Anytime we've moved, especially military wise, you move. The first thing you get when you get a house is you're like, got to set up my internet. Yeah. Like, everybody's dependent on it. Like we wouldn't be able to make these videos without it.
Yep.
All the gamers out there,
you wouldn't be able to
everybody
play with your
knows.
Buddies.
That's
you have
how,
to go back to the Xbox days where you had to Ethernet
Dude,
link that sumbitch up. You had the LAN parties with the Halo, and everybody had their own TV, and you talk shit because
you're yelling at people. You're like, you fucking screen creeper.
Yeah, screen creeping, man.
Yes,
yeah,
dude.
That was the thing.
That was the shit, bro.
Yeah, man, Halo.
But Halo, Halo. Drop us your Xbox tag, bro. I'll throw down on some Halo with you or some PUBG. It's my shit.
Yeah, if any of you guys are PC players and you play Destiny 2, I have like 2 motherfuckers that I play with, and that's it. I'm severely lacking.
I'm in the process. Not you yet. I will build a PC. I'm learning more about it. I'm very computer illiterate, but
we're changing that very
fast.
We
are changing that.
My wife, at Best Buy, you changed.
My wife makes fun of me all the time because she's like, "You're the only person I know your age that knows nothing about computers." Now, dude, my knowledge of computers up until recently was like, I remember using Paint.
Yeah.
And I can obviously send emails, order shit online.
Sure.
But that's
about it.
That's about it, dude. And I didn't learn how to order things online, which is kind of funny. I didn't actually order anything online until I was deployed.
Really?
I personally personally have never
Yeah.
ordered anything online. I always get somebody, my ex-wife, to order it or a friend to order it.
Yeah.
But when I was deployed, I learned
you'd get
real fucking quick how to use Amazon. With that one-click instant buy button, that would make
dangerous.
you go broke, man.
To this day,
you got to deactivate
not
that
enabled
shit
on my shit.
Yeah, no,
To this fucking day.
Because if I have
And it
that
never
button,
will.
if I actually have to go through everything, I'll think about it like.
Yeah, usually when you get to the checkout page and you're right on.
I don't need
right
this.
Before you click place order, you're like.
But you press that orange
let me
button.
back out and let me think if I actually.
Once
need
you press
this
that orange button, you're like, it's done.
One
and
click,
you can go
done.
back. You can go back and cancel it. It's not hard to cancel
Right,
it.
yeah.
But once you press that button, you're like, don't have to fucking worry. It's too late now. It's too late.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
done.
turning
It's
back.
done. The ship is sailed. It's over.
That's how
with.
you. That's how you convince yourself what you did was good. You're like,
Yeah.
I
You
really
don't give yourself time to think about. The
I
potential
really needed whatever that
catastrophe you just
bullshit
ordered.
was. So,
Yeah.
but
yeah, man. I mean, that's about what the '90s was for us.
Yeah,
Drop a
it
comment.
was-
Let us know what '90s was for you, or
Absolutely.
even better, if you're somebody that grew up in the 2000s, let us know what you think about people our age. Be like, oh, kids nowadays. Let us know, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
We're not gonna know unless we walk a day in your shoes, and we're not gonna be able to know what that's like unless you tell us. And so we'd be happy to see and hear both sides of it.
Give us your favorite TV show. Add in the comment what your favorite TV show, what your favorite movie,
favorite video game, movie,
any
show.
of it, man. We'll rehash.
Even book,
you know?
books are a fucking thing. The physical
Books
thing with the
are
pages.
a thing. I just started a new book actually.
Yeah.
Storm on Archives, amazing book.
Dude, we need to.
But-
we can throw that in sometime.
But yeah, no.
So, yeah,
let us know.
next up is this day in history and kind of our closing. Stay tuned. Hit the next episode if you want to watch that. But if you like this, drop us a link. Follow us if you want to.
Please
Cuss us out.
please.
Tell us we're pieces of shit if you want to. I don't care. Hey, comment's a comment. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways, next up, a day in history. Catch you guys on the next episode.
NY Factory.